back, guys. This is the part of the show where we speak straight facts, no filter. So, here to join me is Hot 97 radio personality Jen from BK.
Hi.
Also from Hot 97, digital producer Lou, aka Breaking Lou. And our audience co-host of the day, Chauncey. So, how many of you guys out there in the audience are bad and bougie, and sometimes find yourself picking up dope? Yeah? No? Sometimes? Okay. So I don't know if you guys know, but Migos was recently interviewed by Rolling Stone, and the conversation was really centered around homosexuality in hip hop. And if my memory serves me correctly, Offset along with Quavo and the rest of the group, only one other person, were commenting about McConan in specific, and they were talking about when he first came out. And they were honestly surprised why so many people were supporting his coming out of his sexuality, and honestly saying that like the world is effed up because at the end of the day, those aren't things we should be supporting. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's whack, to be honest. You know, we're in like the 2000s now, 2017, and you know, it's equal rights for everyone. So especially for somebody like McConan to step out in a field like hip hop, because to come out in hip hop, that's like major.
Right.
I think he's one of the first that's ever done that,
Could
right?
be the first. Yeah.
Couldn't be the first.
Exactly.
So instead of like trying to tear him down and, you know, not being for it, we should be supporting him and embracing this culture because, again, everyone is equal. So for me, I read his comments and I thought it was just very sad. I thought he was very uninformed. And I think, you know, they got to wake up because this world is not just this one mindset that we think it is. Hip hop is growing. Hip hop is becoming more than just what we think it is. And I feel like more artists should come out of the closet. And there are some that are in the closet right now, big names as well.
They decide not to, but still do things in the dark.
Because they're so afraid, yeah.
And like you said, it's 2017. I feel as though, and it's so beautiful to see that someone from the hip hop industry has come out because they have so much influence on like today's, on society, and it's like, it's 2017, we're becoming more acceptance of homosexuality because at the end of the day, we're normal people. I'm a part of this community, and I feel as though like the world is accepting us and it's opening doors for us. We are normal people. We just like what we like and nothing is different about us.
Right.
And for someone from the hip hop industry to come out, it's just so influential and it's just creating like a beautiful society for us. So I love that. So
you know
beautiful.
what's really disheartening for me about it is that like Migos, like I literally tweeted about this maybe like a month ago. Like the last album, Culture, literally like for me, made me so proud of being unapologetically ratchet.
Yeah.
I was like so into that. I was like,
Yeah.
I love this music because I don't care who's looking at me, what I'm doing. Like the way that I'm dancing, I feel great in doing that. And then I read this article and I'm like, really? Like,
Well,
you know what the beautiful thing about hip hop is right now? It's changing, it's evolving.
Right.
Like you have the young thugs of the world who are wearing dresses on magazines and stuff. You still have the 50 Cents in the world and stuff like that, kind of doing the more old school. And you have Migos, you know, you have trap music. Like you have so many different subgenres within hip hop now. To make a comment like that, it's just an old school way of thinking where there's so much going on.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what they're necessarily going to do to kind of like recover from this because at the end of the day, LGBTQ, transgender, like this entire community are people who buy your music, who dance at your music clubs, who buy your concert tickets, who stand outside for you know what I mean? Like these are the people who are supporting you. So at the end of the day, you got to get it together.
And again, it's music too. I hate to cut you off, Nas. It's music. You know what you put out, who you love, what you're for, what you want to wear. You know what you like to eat, what you like to do should have no reflection on the type of music you put out. So for again, Migos to come out and say something like that is just it's really degrading and it's embarrassing. And I just hope there is a way for them to come back from this. But again, hip hop is still so one-sided nowadays.
Right.
I think people are kind of overlooking the comments a little bit and keeping it moving.
Right.
I hope we kind of really take this moment and sit down and really think about how homosexuality isn't accepted in hip hop and how we need to change that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So speaking of people just saying crazy things out of their mouth, I know you guys know that Donald Trump, our president,
God.
always has something crazy to say.
That reality queen.
Right, reality queen, exactly. So
He's so
I was
corny.
recently reading an article about his budget cuts.
Yeah.
You know, he's done a lot within these first 50 to 60 days of his presidency. And one of the things that he's really looking to cut rather is arts. the funding for the arts, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, all of the places that fund things like Elmo, Sesame Street, PBS Kids, all of those things. And to me, I'm wondering, why is it that you look to this small percentage of what our national budget is to cut the arts?
And I feel like they've been trying to do this for years. Right. Like I feel like the Republican side, I'm not trying to take sides here, but they've been trying to do this for years.
Take a side, be real.
And they've been continuously cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting slowly all these years. And these are the most important things to people in our community. They need the arts. We need like music. And he's complaining about Chicago, but you're cutting arts and taking people that help take people off the streets,
and you want to go to
put them back on the streets because they're going to have nothing to do.
But now you want to use law and order.
Yeah, martial law, just for what? And a lot of their plans, the healthcare plan, a lot of the things they're doing is look, it's helping the rich. It's not going to help anybody that needs the money, that needs these programs. That the healthcare, it helps the rich. It benefits the rich more than it benefits the poor. I don't know.
We had these conversations all the time, me and Lou, about Trump. And let's be honest, he doesn't really know what he's doing. Let's just put it out there. Secondly, he comes from a real estate background. So the arts, I'm not so sure if he's savvy in that world. But for me, I think it's a tragedy. A lot of these kids, they look to arts and creative outlets to kind of, find their way. And also to pastimes as well. I know for me, myself, I would not have graduated school if it wasn't for the arts.
Amen.
So
to go to an art school.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of kids, and honestly, this world will not evolve and become what it is without these creative people. And once we cut that line, we are just ruining what can be beautiful and about what we do, and also these kids and just the future. So.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I think one of the most important things that we need to keep doing is talking about it.
Yeah.
Because if we keep going to the next thing, because he's good at distractions. He's going to do a Twitter.
Absolutely.
He's beefing with Snoop Dogg right now.
He's going to tweet something and try to distract us all.
Exactly.
He's beefing with Snoop about a music video that Snoop made. And it's like, come
And they
on,
were
at the end of the
friends
day-
a couple years ago.
He's so corny. Not even funny.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what's most important, Jen, and you said this, is to you guys who are in the studio audience, to your friends, we have to be very, very active. And I know that a lot of people felt some type of way when Donald Trump became the president of the United States. You were crying, you stayed home, you didn't go to work, you didn't go to school. But those are things that you have to channel into action. And I think I implore all of my friends, all of the people watching the show, to really become active. Find out who your local representatives are.
Facts.
And I'm not saying that to just say it. Find out. Whether it takes you day by day, once a week, one person a week that you learn, you figure out what they do, what they control. But these are literally the people who control the things that control our lives on a daily basis.
That's
and
right.
we do nothing about it. So it kind of seems a little bit weird that you wouldn't be that concerned.
Exactly.
Jen, I know you had something in terms of reality check like on your mind that you just wanted to like set people straight about.
Yeah, there was a few things I mentioned to you, but I'm gonna keep it light because we have to, do that. But this goes out to really all the people trying to make it in the industry. Social media has killed the reality of what it is to be in the entertainment industry and the media. A lot of people see these people taking photos in their cars or they're out, at these events, but in reality, it takes so much work to become something here. I've been working for about 9 years now, and I'm still not where I want to be. So to all those hustlers out there trying to get in the media and the industry, you got to put in the time. You can't just come in and expect things to happen for you immediately. Honestly, you got to put in your work. You got to, earn your stripes. Yeah, free work. That's one thing. So I don't know what's up with these interns nowadays.
I took the interest for the show
were
that
just
at the end
saying
of the day, like this experience is going to be so valuable to you, and the people you meet and the things that you learn are going to be way more valuable than you working at McDonald's getting $10 an hour. If you'd rather be there and you want to be a radio personality, stay there. We'll see where you go.
Exactly. When I came up during my time, when I was interning for Flex and Enough and everybody, it was just, I had to do everything. I had to grind and hustle. So it's just, you guys got to put in your time if you're trying to make it.
I know. They're wrapping us up for time. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if you guys want more information on our guests, you can find them on their respective Instagram pages. And if you see them in the street, say what's up. We'll be right back after this with a very special guest and live performance.